Hi year two, Miss Vaughan here to show you your first maths lesson for this half term. So today we're not looking at anything new, we're just recapping addition and subtraction. So let's have a look at what we should be doing. So before we start, it's really important to talk about what terms, basically what we can call adding and subtracting. So have a little think at home, pause the video, write down some of the words that we can call addition and subtraction that are different. So once you've done that, we'll recap. So adding can be addition, it can be all together, it can be what is the total of, it can be what is the sum of 7 and 5, it could be plus, it could be double, which is times 2, or add and add again, adding the same number twice. Subtract can be subtraction, take away, minus, less, and what's the difference, okay? And just to put a top tip in there, when we add, we're gaining, our answers are usually bigger, well done. And when we subtract, we're taking away, so our answers are usually less. Well done. So once we know all of the terms that we can use for addition and subtraction, we need to think about the methods we can use. So the operations are add and subtract. The method is how we solve it. So what could we use? We could use the number line for both addition and subtraction. We could do them both mentally, if that is something we are able to do. The partitioning and recombining method can only be used for one operation. I wonder what operation that is. Tell your grown-up. Yep, it is addition. You can use the W method, don't tell Mr. Stray, to add, or you could use a new method that Miss Vaughan is about to show you, which is pictorially. Okay, pictorially is just a clever way of saying with pictures, basically. So you can do addition and subtraction pictorially. So here it is, our new method for this half term, okay? So it's basically drawing the tens and the ones for subtraction, only the first number. Okay, and then something to mention here is this only works if the second number, the ones column, is less. If it was take away 19, this method wouldn't work. So we draw the tens and the ones, 10 sticks for tens and dots for ones, and then we just simply cross off what we don't need. So I'm going to use a different color pen so it's clear. I'm taking away 1 10 stick and I'm taking away 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I just count what I have left. So I've got 10, 20, 21, 22, 23 left. So I pop in my answer. And then if we use the pictorial method for adding, we need to draw the tens and ones for both numbers, okay? And then we just count up and see what we have. So always counting the tens first. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 all together. So you count all of the tens and all of the ones. So let's have a quick look at subtraction again with my different color pen. 27 take away 14. I'm not going to draw 14 because we're doing takeaway. We only draw the first number. So I'm taking away 1 10 and I'm taking away 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm counting what I have left. So I've got 1 10 left and I've got 1, 2, 3 ones left. Okay, so that's the pictorial method. And if you want to use that, that's absolutely fine. If you're confident with the number line, don't go back to this. This is just an optional method if the number line isn't for you. So read today, using a structured number line if you need to. If you're completely confident on the unstructured, you can skip read today. But if you need to recap read, that's absolutely fine. So we start on our first number, which is 28, and then we always jump the tens before we jump the ones. So one big 10 jump, and I'm looking here, this is takeaway. So I'm jumping down the number line. So if I've got 28, I've got 8 in the ones column. So I'm going to be looking for an 8 in the ones column. And if I've got 2 10s and I take away 1, I'm left with 1 10 and my 8 ones. So I'm looking for 18. Circling that and then drawing my 10 jump. You'll be much neater than Miss Vaughan. It's quite tricky to write on the computer. So then once I've done the 10s, I now need to do the ones, which is 4 ones jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I find my answer and write it in. So that's our 10s and ones. And then it's the same with addition, but we're not going to jump down the number line. We're going to jump up the number line. So starting on 12, adding the 10s and then adding the ones, one big 10 jump. 12 has 2 ones. So I'm looking for 2 ones and going from 10 to 20. So 20 and 2 ones is 22. And don't forget to write in your jumps, add 10, because this time we're adding and we're jumping up. Once we've done the 10s, we do the ones. 1, 2, 3, and we have our answer there. So that's a quick recap on adding or subtracting on a structured number line. Moving on to orange with an unstructured number line. So if we're doing 48 take away 16, we must start at the end of the number line, but we still jump the 10s before we jump the ones. So one big 10 jump, usually 3 squares big, take away 10. And then we can use our fingers for the 10s numbers, can't we? So 48 becomes 38 because we're just taking away 1 10 and the ones do not change. So we've jumped back the 10s. We now need to jump the ones. We've taken away 1 10. We need to take away 6 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we put 38 in our head and we count back 6. So 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. And we pop in what we got to and we pop in our answer. So when we move on to adding on the unstructured number line, we start at the beginning of the number line and then we jump the 10s and then the ones. So one big 10 jump, usually 3 squares big. We write add 10 in our jump and we can use our fingers to represent the 10s. So if we have 22 and we add another 10, we now have 10, 20, 32. And then once we jump the 10s, we jump the ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1 jumps, and then we put 32 in our heads and count on 4. So 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. And we pop that on our number line and we write in the answer. So that's the unstructured number line. So now we're moving on to green. Miss Vaughan will show you the unstructured number line again for subtraction, but the partitioning and recombining method for addition. You could use the W, the partitioning and recombining method, for orange too, but I just wanted to show you both options. So just to recap, when we subtract on an unstructured number line, we start at the end of the number line. And then we always jump the 10s first and then the ones. So you can see here, Miss Vaughan has 2 10 jumps to make and 7 1 jumps. So 1, 2, and then 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 48 becomes 38. 38 becomes 10, 28. We keep the 8 because the ones do not change. And then once we've jumped the 10s, we jump the ones. So let's pop 28 in our head and take away 7. So 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. And then we write in our answer. And then for the partitioning and recombining method, we just add the 10s to the 10s and the 1s to the 1s. So if I've got 2 10s and then another 2 10s, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40. So I write 40 underneath. It's important to write 40 and not 4 because it's not 4, it's 40. And then if we've got 6 1s and we add another 1, we've got 7. So then I've got my answer as 47. And remember, sometimes we have to partition and recombine twice if we end up with a teens number here. So that's the 2 methods we can use. Then I want you to pause the video here because I don't want you to watch the purple explanation until you've had a go at the others. So could you do that now for me? So when you're confident with the other colours, you can move on to purple. And what's really important here is that you underline the important parts of the problem. So Miss Offer ran 15 kilometres at the weekend and 55 in the week. If her target is 100 kilometres, how many more kilometres does she need to run? So we know she's already ran 15 kilometres and 55 kilometres. So if she's ran both of those distances, we need to add them together to see how far she's ran so far. So using a mental method or the partition and recombining, 50 and 10 is 60 and 5 add 5 is 10. So 10 add 60 is 70. So she's currently run 70 kilometres. That's part 1 of this problem. But she needs to run 100 kilometres. So I need to take away what she's already done to find out how much more she needs to run, or I can count up to find the difference. So if I do 100, that's 10 10s, take away 5, 6, 7 10s, I've got 10, 20, 30 left. So that's my answer. But what I could have done is gone 70, 80, 90, 100 and know that I've got 30 left to go. And then let's have a look at the other example. So Mrs. Rolfe swam 15 lengths on Monday, double that on Tuesday, and only 10 on Wednesday. How much did she swim in total? So I know she swam 15 lengths. She's also swam 10 lengths. So I'm going to add those 2 together because she swam that and we know. So 10 add 10 is 20 and we've got 5, so it's 25. But she swam double 15 on Monday. So double means times 2, or it means add itself again. So 15 add 15. 10 add 10 is 20. 5 add 5 is 10. 20 add 10 is 10, 20, 30. So that's how much she swam. 30 on Tuesday, 15 on Monday, and 10 on Wednesday. So then I add all of those together. So the 25 plus the 30 that she did, and then that will be my final answer. So 20 and 30 is 50, looking at the 10s, and 0, add 5. If I've got nothing and I add 5, I've got 5. So if I've got 50 and 5, that must mean my answer is 55. So what's really good is if I get used to writing the answer near the question, and then Miss One can see exactly what the answer is. So Miss Offer had 30 kilometres to run left, and Ms. Rolfe swam 55 lengths in total. So that is purple. So I hope that makes sense. If anybody finds that tricky or needs any more explanations, then just email in because we will be happy to help.